Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to share my story about my struggles with infertility. No, but on a serious note, I want to share my story today about how I was diagnosed with PCOS and how I struggle with infertility. So for those of you who don't know, PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, which pretty much means you have a bunch of cysts on your ovaries. Well, for some women. I actually never had problems with cysts on my ovaries, but I somehow still had it. So pretty much when you have PCOS, your cycles, well, for some women, can just stop completely, meaning you don't have periods and you don't ovulate. So I don't know what caused it, and the doctors don't know what caused it. It's just something that I happen to have. So I struggled for a long time with not having periods and just not feeling good physically. A lot of women will joke, or even guys sometimes, oh, that's awesome. You're lucky you don't have to deal with that, but it's actually horrible. I don't physically feel good, for one, so that's awful. One of the biggest struggles that a lot of women have with PCOS is weight gain. So I was always super tiny growing up. I was around 120, 128 pounds pretty much my whole entire high school years. And once I got diagnosed with PCOS, I gained an immense amount of weight very quickly. So at first it wasn't too bad. I'm not saying if you're at a higher weight you're disgusting or anything. I mean, everybody's beautiful. But for me, that was really hard to deal with, and it still is. I'm actually at my highest weight that I have ever been in my entire life. And that's something that I've struggled with for the past couple of years, was gaining weight due to my PCOS. It's just kind of hard to feel comfortable just not looking how I used to. But I mean, I still think that I'm beautiful in my own ways. So anyways, so with this PCOS, it is very hard for women to get pregnant. And if they do get pregnant, it's hard to stay pregnant, typically. There are things that women can do when they have PCOS to try to get cycles, try to get pregnant. It just depends. So for me, I don't have periods at all. So I have to be on medication in order to get a period. So obviously doctors don't like to prescribe that constantly. So I mean, I can go literally years if I wanted to without having a period, but that's not healthy and that's not recommended. So every once in a while a doctor will prescribe me what they call Provera, and that's just a pill that will help get things going to start a period for me. So that's one thing that is hard. And then another part, which is a huge factor in my infertility struggles, is not being able to ovulate. So that's something that I struggle with, is not ovulating. So I mean, I've obviously have been pregnant a few times in the past, and those were not expected at all. So I was given a dosage of metformin and Synthroid, which metformin is a medication that doctors will prescribe to people who typically are diabetics or pre-diabetics, which I am pre-diabetic. So I was prescribed that, and then I was also prescribed a low dose of Synthroid, which is used to cure and help symptoms of hypothyroidism and other problems pertaining to the thyroid. So I also have a little bit of hypothyroidism, hence the weight gain as well. Doesn't help. So my one of my OBs had given me like a little combination of that to kind of help those symptoms and to try to somewhat naturally, in a way, get my cycles to come back. So that actually did help for a little bit, and that's actually how I got pregnant one of the times. So again, that was not planned. It was unexpected. But that was, you know, a very joyful thing. Unexpected, but very joyful. So sadly, that ended in a miscarriage at around, they say between 8 to 10 weeks, I think it was. So that was very, very hard on me. But I was very thankful and blessed to be able to even get pregnant, because that wasn't really supposed to happen. So I saw that as a blessing. So I didn't think too much into that. And then I got pregnant after that, unexpectedly again. I wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant again after that because my PCOS was back. I wasn't on my Synthroid or metformin anymore. The doctors had taken me off that when I got pregnant, just because they didn't want it to be harmful if it was going to be at all. So I just naturally, after my miscarriage, had a period and must have ovulated on my own. I think it was just because my hormones were coming back into alignment after that somehow. So unexpectedly, I got pregnant for the second time, and I was very shocked. We were not expecting that at all. And that one, sadly, again, ended in a miscarriage. That one was around 6 weeks, so very early on, but still very hard for those of you who have experienced that. So after that, I just was emotionally just drained at that point. I mean, as anybody would be. So I, once again, got one. I wasn't having periods again or anything like that, so I wasn't feeling good. So I went to a specialist, and they helped me get my cycles back. So I was prescribed Provera again, just to kind of get things going again, and I got pregnant again. And that time was with my daughter, which I will go into a whole different video on that, about my daughter, and how we ended up sadly losing her. So I'll talk about that story in another video. But yeah, so when we got pregnant with our daughter, that was just, I don't know, that was a whole different experience on its own. So that was the farthest pregnancy that I have had. So you can imagine we were very, very happy with that. I was so excited because I finally could get pregnant again, and I was actually carrying her for a decent amount of time. So I carried her until about 18, I was almost 19 weeks, and then I lost her, which I'll talk about that in a video. But that was one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with. But again, I was extremely blessed to be able to have had that opportunity to carry another baby, and to be able to get pregnant, you know, but for that amount of time. So that was really hard. Another thing I didn't talk about, though, with my very first loss, I had gotten pregnant when I was 16 in the past, and I unexpectedly had a miscarriage. I was about 6 weeks too, so that was hard. I mean, I was so young at that time, so I didn't really understand things, but anyways, with my daughter, though, I was very surprised to get pregnant, but we were very, very happy. So yeah, so pretty much where I'm at now, and that was back in January when we lost her. So pretty much where we're at is it's July, almost August now, and we would like to try to have a baby again, or start talking about it here soon, just to see what our options are, and see what we can do. So I pretty much want to just document our journey with that, because eventually we're going to have to go to a specialist, I'm sure, because my PCOS is back, and I also found out I have fibroids on my ovaries, which are hard cysts pretty much in my ovaries that are very painful. So I will have to go to a doctor to get that looked at and to see what my options are with that. But yeah, so we're gonna have to go to a specialist more than likely to see what our options are, and to see what I have to do. But I'm very hopeful for this, and I'm very excited for the journey. It's scary, it's very scary, but it's exciting. So I'm just gonna give it over to God at this point, because I clearly can't do things on my own and do this on my own. So we're just gonna be praying for it, and yeah, I'd love to take you guys along with us on this journey of beating this infertility and for getting pregnant. So once I do become pregnant, I would love to do daily vlogs, or daily-ish vlogs, depending on time. And I would love to just share that with you guys, share my infertility journey with you guys, and just do little vlogs on that. So if you guys like this, which I'm hoping you do, please hit that like button and subscribe for me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.